Hi, I'm Pete, and this is a tutorial for the Megaminx Ball V1.0, the C1 variant. Well, the C1 variant is a great addition to the Megaminx Ball series. Instead of having 12 5-sided faces, the C1 variant has two of the faces replaced with hexagonal faces, or 6-sided faces, and it gives a very unique property to this puzzle. If the edge of the hexagonal face is lined up with an adjacent pentagonal face, it turns no problem. However, if I do a partial turn of the face and then try to turn the adjacent hexagonal face, that's not going to work, nor will turning any of the adjacent faces. In fact, if the hexagon face or hexagonal face is lined up with a particular pentagon face, none of the adjacent Megaminx faces can work. This can only be lined up with one Megaminx face at a time. Some other properties of this, which is really, I find it very interesting. So we have now this chunk of the hexagonal edge is occupying a Megaminx edge. This piece can still turn. However, the adjacent face, even if you line up a Megaminx edge, it can't turn because it's being blocked by a little chunk of the hex edge being part of it. So it really does pose some interesting solving challenges. Basically, these edges act like bandaging pieces, and there are two of them. So that's the unique property of the C1 variant. By the way, if you know what C1 means, feel free to leave a comment. I am curious, or if you have a theory. I just don't know why they called it the C1 variant. Now, the other thing that makes this puzzle somewhat unique for Megaminxes is they have three color faces. I think they're all 3-color faces, which means the faces, the centers, have orientation. The edges are 2 colors. Sometimes both colors are the same. Most of the time the 2 colors aren't. So that does create a additional challenge in that these centers have to be properly rotated as part of the solve. Alright, well that's it for the intro to the C1 variant. What I'm going to do now is scramble a puzzle, and you'll get a little glimpse of how I plan to approach the solve. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take a chunk of edge from one side, the opposite side of the puzzle where I'm working, and I'll go over here and I'll do the same thing. I'll take a chunk. Now I can't take this chunk because I wanted to get that, but we already have a piece of the other edge there, so I can't get that because I can't even turn this face. So I'm going to have to move over. So this is the type of bandaging, the type of constraints that the bandaged edges, that the hexagonal edges cause. So what I've done here, in order to be able to do any kind of Megaminx algorithm at all, I've just put a regular pentagonal edge, regular Megaminx edge on opposite sides. And now we can just do our normal Megaminx algorithms. I'm just recycling these. We could, you would think that we would be able to turn these edges down and keep going, but we really can't because there are pieces of the hex edge kind of in our path. So we almost really have to start this sort of thing over again each time we want to move things around. So I'm going to scramble this just a bit more, try to get it as thorough as possible, and then we'll just have to move on. We'll get some. What I'll do is I'm going to take a chunk out of one that we already scrambled, which will. Okay, so I'm just going to put this back, and then, as I say, get a piece out of where we've already scrambled, so we when we come around to it. Okay, and why can't I? Okay. Oh, okay. I can't use this face because the brown hex edge has already been there. So I'll just grab his other piece right here. Now I'm not putting the centers back. Normally I would do that, and I'm going to explain all that when we start to solve here. All right, let's see if I can get a little bit more. No, I can't scramble that anymore, but I might be able. No, I can't scramble that. So this is kind of what you have to do with this puzzle. You spend a fair bit of the solve just trying to get around the fact that you have these constraints about what you can move and what pieces you can have up in the hex part of it. Okay, it is a fun solve. I've really enjoyed working with this puzzle. So this pink edge, they do exchange. They do exchange in the upper part. However, I'm going to show you something which is also aggravating at times. If I line this up with a face, I actually can't turn that adjacent hex edge. So this piece does fit in there, but it's upside down, which means it blocks this edge and it blocks that edge. So yeah, it's really quite yeah, they really get in the way, these edges. Okay, so I just put that back. I will get a piece out of this side here. There we go. I'm just going to grab an edge, and I guess we could just put that one back for now. Oops, okay, well that that didn't really do too much. Okay, so I'm just trying to get a decent scramble here. I'm not sure how well I'm doing. I think I've just managed to not scramble when I should be scrambling. Okay, get back on track here. So my puzzle came unstickered, and I think that's pretty much how they are. But because of the constraints on the sticker scheme, I think most of us will have a fairly similar looking puzzle. Yeah, because of the way that the sticker scheme is kind of arranged. Okay, so I'm just still scrambling, and I'm just trying to move the scrambled section along here. Yeah. Okay, let's scramble that. And okay, I think yeah, so this one, this face I can't move because there's that little chunk of this in there, but I can just scramble these two, and I'm just going to do that. I'm just basically 3 cycling, and then, you know, I can do a few more turns, just sort of randomly trying to get them as scrambled as possible. Now, on a normal Megaminx, you're going to have, of course, you have the 12 faces. We only have 10 Megaminx faces to solve here, but you also have 30 edges on a regular Megaminx. But in our case, we're going to, because some of those edges are replaced by hexagon edges, we're down to 18 edges to solve. Also, the corners of the Megaminx are reduced to just a triangle on this C1 variant, and actually on the Ball Megaminx as well. There are normally 20 of these corners, 3 colors on a regular Megaminx, 1 color on the Ball Megaminx. In our case, because some of the corners are replaced by hexagon, we're down to just 10 of them, which is good because I solved the corners separately from the edges, and it's the only part of it that I use an algorithm for. Everything else is just 3 cycles, just strategy. but there is an algorithm that I came up with to move the corners, just because I wanted to do basically wanted to do a corners last solve and not disturb anything, any hard one in progress. Alright, let's see if we can, okay, I can't move that face, but I could probably move that face around a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Alright, and that's I think a pretty good scramble. I'm just going to go ahead and put these edges back. The hex faces really are fairly trivial to solve, so we'll use them a lot during the solve, but I don't really feel that I need to interchange them or scramble them or anything like that. So that is our scramble then of the Megaminx Ball, the C1 variant. And when we get back, I'll just take a short break here, and when we get back, we'll start this first part of the solve. Alright, well, the first step of a solve of the Megaminx Ball C1 variant is the orientation of the centers. These all have a unique color scheme on them, and they have to be oriented. What I'm looking for are a common pair of colors that between a left and a right center. So here I see we have two blues, over here we have two blues, which means they have to face each other, and when they do, I know that they're oriented properly. Well, we can't just do this, because if we did, we wouldn't be able to move the adjacent face, we wouldn't be able to move the top, we can't do it. So this is going to establish a routine which we'll use for the rest of the puzzle, which is we have to get an edge to use, a Megaminx edge. And what I usually do is go to the other side of the puzzle and grab one to use. It doesn't matter, most of the time we don't hurt the edge anyway. Now what I'm doing is I'm bringing the edge I need up, then I'm going to turn to an adjacent hex face, and then turn that down to replace the piece that I took. And what that does is it keeps the orientation of this face. Right now we haven't sorted out the back of the puzzle, but it's an important habit so that we always keep the orientation of the face, because once we've done this section, that's it. We're going to be the faces will be oriented, and we want to preserve that as much as possible. So we want these two blue to face each other, and now that I've done that, I can move this edge over here and turn that. Okay, so now those are good, and I'm just going to go around the puzzle and do that for this part, the 5 faces that are up here, and then we'll go to the bottom and do the other 5 faces. These ones are already oriented properly, so that's good. This one, so we know that this is correct because those are correct. This has to be correct. That's actually already correct. Wow. So that was pretty quick and fairly straightforward. These phases are all oriented properly. I'm going to put this piece back here, and the way to do that without changing the orientation of the face, you use an edge that's adjacent to the edge you're putting back, flip it up, substitute the edge, and then turn things back until the original hex edge is lined back up, and we didn't change the orientation. So we did these 5 faces. Now I'm going to turn to the brown hex face and do the same thing. It doesn't really matter where we start. So here I see we have 2 orange, and there's 2 orange there, so those will work with those, which means that I'll just go and get an edge on the other side of the puzzle. For the most part, using an edge like this doesn't really hurt it, so we're going to be using solved edges quite a bit for the solving the puzzle. There you go. So that's orange, and then we'll turn this, and now those 2 are lined up, and just as a consequence, the bottom edges are also lined up with the ones on the other side. So now we're looking for 2 green over here, and I can't turn this face because the hex edge is intruding into it. So, and that's, you know, it's one of those things, it's just the nature of the puzzle. So we'll go ahead and put this back. Okay, and then we'll just move on to some other place over here. It doesn't really matter, just as long as it's not going to be in our way. Remember, we bring up the edge we want, replace it with a hex edge, and then turn everything back so that we haven't changed the orientation of that face. Now this, I don't think this other one was solved. Anyway, let's just keep on going. So we did the orange. We couldn't do the green because there was a hex edge in the way. There we go. That's the green. This is not pink and red. This is gray and gray, which is already done. Very good. Pink already done. Okay, so now that was the second step. Not really too difficult, but it's a good chance to practice switching these edges around, and to just kind of work with the puzzle. So if I look around, then all of the faces should be they should be lined up and they should be correct. Okay, that's great. All right, well, I'm just gonna set that down for now, take another short little break, and when we come back we'll do the middle part of the solve, which is the edges, and I think that's actually the longest part of the solve. All right, time to do step 2, which is solving the middle edges. Now, some people might want to solve the middle edges while they're doing the orientation, or solve some of them. That's fine if you want to do it that way. I like to separate them into separate tasks. Now, there's two types of middle edges. There's the ones at the bottom of the Megaminx face, which have two corners and an edge, which usually has two colors, sometimes the same color. And then there are these type of edges which just have one corner and one edge, and they're always adjacent to the hex part of it. In order to get one of these out, you always have to have a Megaminx edge above it in order to get one of these out. These ones you can replace them with a hex edge, depending on what you're needing to do with it. So the way to do this then really is just to find an edge. Now the solid color ones tend to be the ones on the top, and I'd like to try and do the ones on the bottom first, on the sort of the bottom row here, between the adjacent faces, sort of around the equator of the puzzle. Anyway, that's what I'd like to try and do anyway. So I'm just going to look around, see if I can find something kind of useful here. I can see this blue, and let's see, just want to find something that'll be okay. All right, so here's actually, this is a good place to start, because we have light blue and orange, and we have light blue and orange, but that piece belongs here, but it's upside down, which is a pretty common thing that happens. So let's just go ahead and look at how we have to flip a piece as a fairly common thing. So I got the piece I'm looking for, and then I am turning the face down. All right, so the strategy, this is the target here. The strategy is to turn the piece down and then turn the adjacent face up, and then reverse all of that so that we don't leave the faces in a kind of a mess. But obviously we can't do that without some extra edges. So I'm just going to go maybe over here and just grab an extra edge. Now I think we can do this with one extra edge. And hopefully this is not going to get in the way. We'll see. So the first part of this, actually, yeah, you know what? I can't really do it here because this edge is going to get in the way. So I'm just going to use an adjacent face, and it'll be the same process. It's just we don't have to worry about that. So the edge I want to flip, is right here, and right now it has blue on the left, and we want orange on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it. There you go, now it's flipped. And now I'm going to flip it again. Alright, so now it's flipped, and here's why we need the extra piece. I need to save that piece, but I need to turn both of these faces back. So I'm going to bring the spare piece back, going to undo the flip there. That gives me the spare piece, another spare piece, and I'm going to undo that flip there. Okay, so now we're set. These faces are back to where they were, and my piece here has orange on the left, and you see when we turn it up it'll have orange on the left. So it's just a matter now of turning the face up and swapping in that piece. Okay, well that seemed like a lot of work just to get one piece in, but you don't have to flip most of them, right? Most of them you can just get them in one go. So I'm looking for things like purple and orange or purple and yellow. I see some purple and yellow here, but both of them. Okay, so those are a little bit challenging to get, and I'm going to just save them for later. I'd rather try and get some that are a little easier. Like this one right here, which is blue and lime green, which goes right there. Okay, so I can get that one, I think, fairly easily. We still have our spare piece that was hanging around, which is fine. Actually, I don't really need it right now. It goes over there. You know what? I'll just keep it around. Okay, so blue and there it is, blue now. Blue is on the right, and when left, sorry, and when we flip it up, it'll be correct. So that is correct, and I can just go ahead. I can't. So I can't flip this face up because I've got my edge. It's my extra edge is in the way here. So I'm going to have to go ahead and put this away here. Now, I do recognize that this edge goes in that area, but not quite there. But you know what? We're just not ready to work with it yet. Okay, so now that that is freed up, I think I can just go ahead and flip this slot up. There we go. And then turn it on. Okay, so there you go. And that's how this whole thing goes. So I got those two done. That's great. I got that one done. How about a purple and orange? I think that's probably, yeah, it's over here. So a little harder to get. Let's see. Okay, we got, well, you know what? This one, I think this one's kind of waiting for us over here. So let's just go ahead and get that one in the right spot. Okay, so okay, we already have an extra edge there. It's not really doing us, not really causing any problems, I don't think, so we'll just keep it in there. Okay, so let's take a look at the situation then. Oh, okay, I'm going to have to put that extra edge in there because we're not going to be able to insert this other edge beside it with this block in the way. You see, this is how it all happens. So if I want to insert an edge, I'm going to put a hex edge, an adjacent hex edge first, and then put the edge in. Okay. Alright, and now should be ready to go. So when I turn this up, it is correctly oriented, so I'll just turn the piece off, turn it up, and put that in. There we go. Alright, so that one's done. And I see here we have dark pink and gray, and I see the dark pink and gray is right over there, so I might as well just grab that. Okay, and I still have my double yellow over here. It's not hurting anything, so I'm just going to hang on to it. Sometimes you need to use that slot on the top. So, alright, so this is pink and gray. And when I put it on top here, so the pink is on the left here, and indeed when I turn it up it will be correct, so we don't have to worry about that. You notice this time I used a Megaminx edge. It all works the same, it doesn't really matter. Alright, good, so we got that one and that one, that was already solved. Now I have this blue and pink. I might as well go ahead and put that in right over here. And now you can see how you get these three-part edges, or the two-part edges out. So normally they would be like that, and there's only two pieces to them, and you really can't get them out. But if you just go ahead and put a regular edge, you can get them out. The only thing is now I need something to put there temporarily, and that's why you have an extra or spare edge hanging around. Now when I moved that out of its position, I didn't actually consider how it was oriented. So let's see if I made a good move or not. Oh, I got lucky. So the blue's on the left, it's on the right, and then we'll turn it around and it'll be good. Okay, we're making some good progress here, and except that I turned up the wrong. Okay, I think I turned up the wrong. Now I understand. I basically the edge I want to put in is over here, but I gotta fix that one first. So I'll just put the yellow in that first. Okay. Yeah, and I just realized that I tend to flip the puzzle over when I'm doing certain algorithms, and all I can say is sorry about that. It's just the way I visualize these things. Alright, so now that I have that, I can go ahead and take care of this part, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. Notice we're not concerned about the corners one bit, because we will do that as a whole separate step. Okay, well, this is looking pretty good here. What I might start doing now, I think it's probably time to go onto the other side and start getting some of these other ones that I couldn't reach from here. Some of the solid colors, actually, yeah, okay, I think I'm going to work on some of the solid colors. It's probably a good idea. So, for example, this one goes here. So I'll just get that one out then. And here's where I'm going to need another piece, another edge piece, because when I turn this out, I am eventually going to get that one, but you know what, I don't want to fool with it and just leave face turned as I'm working on other pieces. It is possible to do it that way, but honestly I consider it too much of a risk. So, and it just takes a second to go and grab another edge piece. This could be any piece. It could be one we've already solved. It really doesn't matter, because it doesn't hurt the pieces when you're doing this. Okay, so now I've got the piece I want to take out, and I'm going to substitute this yellow one. And now I want to put this piece in there. And again, I'll just take whatever piece. Now there's no orientation here, so we just go ahead and put it in, and there we go. So that one's in. Now pink I think goes on the other side, so we can't really do much. Gray, I wonder if we use gray up here. No, gray goes on the other side as well. Okay, well, with that in mind, one of the little techniques that I use to move pieces from one side to the other is to actually put them to replace them in a face that a chunk that's closer to the other side. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Okay, and is there any more that I can do here? Yeah, here's another one right up here. So I put these two solid color pieces in faces that are closer to the brown side. So we're done here. We have to come back and do a couple, but that's okay. So I'm going to flip it over now, and we have a few more that I'm going to take care of here. Let's see. So this goes there. That's going to be interesting to get out. Yeah, let's do the interesting one first then. So I'm going to need at least one piece. We're going to actually need two edges. So I'm just going to look on the opposite side, and it doesn't matter if it's pieces we've already solved. We will put them back and it's not going to hurt anything. So now that I've taken that out, I can't really work there, but I can work over there, so that'll be good. Let's see, I'll take the, oh well, the double pink, we actually will use that later, so might as well just use it right now. So I took out 2 edges. I don't know if we need both edges, but it's just kind of a good handy thing to have here. So what am I doing? I'm trying to take this out. Now let me think this through before I do anything rash. When I turn this face up to put the piece in, the orange has to be on the right, which means that orange has to, no, on the left. Yeah, L for left. So this orange will be on the left, which means that orange has to be on the left, which means I have to turn the face up this way. There you go. Alright. Oh, and I probably should have, I don't know, I could have done that a bit better. Anyway, so now I'm going to flip this up and put in. So all in all, I don't think it was too hard to get these ones out that are close to the hex edge. It just takes a bit more effort, really. Alright, so that was one. The gray can go there, but first, yeah, I might as well just put, since I'm going to be working in that area, I guess I should put this back. Okay, so we used that edge, didn't really hurt anything. Now, the gray, I'm just going to put the gray in there, but I still need another edge to help me with that, because basically I need an edge where I can turn things up. So I'm just gonna go right to the opposite side over here and grab one. I'll grab that one right there. Now, oops, okay. One of the things, just to make sure that you can maximize the amount of room you have, is to always use the edges that are as close as possible to ones that are already used. Okay, so now we have that, and I'm just going to use it to turn up this. There it is, it's turned up, and put it in, and excellent. And now I got a baby blue one, which I think belongs, yeah, it belongs over here. Okay, let's see if I can, maybe I can solve it from over here. No, I really can't solve it from over here, so I'll just have to. Okay, so what I'll do, the baby blue, I'm just going to put it in there because I don't actually have the piece that belongs there anyway. So I'll just go ahead and put that over there. Okay, so now I've got the baby blue there, and red and pink, and I'll just put the red and pink back. Now, I may have been able to do a bit more on this side, but really I need whatever piece is occupying the slot where did I just put it? So yeah, I just wanted to get that, the baby blue. Yeah, so I'll need the, I think, yeah, I need the yellow there, so I might as well just get it now. So I want to move those pieces over there, so I'll need that. Okay, but I will need one more, so I'm just going to grab that one. Actually, I could take that one too. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to flip anything over, at least not on purpose. Okay, so I have my baby blue, but I can't really, I'm just going to temporarily put that one in there, and that's all it's for, is just to allow me to rotate the face and do a substitution. That's it, done. We got our yellow out. Perfect. So now I can go ahead and put that back. Really, there we are. And I'll put the double yellow back over here since that one wasn't really solved in the first place. Alright. A lot of turning. Okay, so the double yellow goes there. That's a bit of an awkward spot to have to work on it, but we'll figure something out. So I'm just going to go to the other side here, grab a couple pieces to work with. Okay, that one. You know what? I think maybe that'll work. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to actually have to substitute that in. Yeah, this is going to be a bit more complicated. So what I'm doing now, because I can't use a hex edge to sub in there, because if I did, that hex edge would prevent the very target that we're looking for from turning. So I had to put that in temporarily. I got to remember I did that. And then I still need one more piece, which hopefully, okay, so it'll have to be there. I'm just making sure I'll be able to turn, still turn the adjacent face. Okay, so now I have my target that's going in, and I have my piece that's going to facilitate the turning. And actually, yeah, I might have been able to do that without. Okay, now I see a better way to do it, but that's always the way, isn't it? I might have been able to do it slightly better. Okay, doesn't really matter. We got that done. And the piece that I borrowed, I'm just going to go ahead and put it back. Or will I? Yeah, I think I should do that. I'll put both pieces that I borrowed back. I just start over just because I just want to have a look at my next move with everything solved that I have so far. Let's see, red and red. Okay, so no, that's not it. There was a piece over here that I actually borrowed. So I'm going to have to put the red and red in there. And the reason I wanted to get that back is really that I borrowed it and moved it, so it was a solved piece that I kind of ended up putting somewhere. Alright, now it's fine. I can get the purple and yellow, which goes over here. Very good. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, I'll get the purple and yellow. So I need another piece to help me get that out. I may actually need two pieces. Let me think about that. Purple and yellow. Okay. Yeah. So when I turn the purple and yellow up, yeah, I need another piece, yet another piece to put in there. Now I have to be careful because that's where we're going with this. So I can't take anything from this. Actually, I could be turning that face. Yeah, so let's see, so I can take that. Okay, hopefully, okay. Alright, let's try that again. I was a little too far away there. Okay, so now I've got my two pieces that I need to use here, and I'm gonna take that, and then use that to put the piece back. Now, I didn't work through this. Wait, where did I think I've lost my oh, there it is. Okay, it did. I got lucky there because I didn't check to see if it was right side up or not. I might have taken it out the other way. Okay, so I got that solved. Now we did something over here where I put that piece in. think I put it up and I put it in. So I need to make sure that I bring the piece out in the proper orientation. I think it's with red on the left. Let's go take a look. Yes, red on the left. So that can be it. And I'll just have to put that double red in there for now. Okay. Fairly complicated, but you know what? It's just fine. So this purple and purple goes up there, which is better solved on that side. And blue and gray. Oh, okay, that's a solved piece, so I will just go ahead and put that back. Okay, making some really good progress. Okay, so that one's all done. Let's go ahead and solve this purple over here, and that'll get me the lime green, which goes up here. So that's perfect. Now, I think I can just do a sort of a quickie thing and still do the algorithm with it here, but I am going to need another piece to help, another helper piece. So I'll take that. Alright, so I've got my helper piece, and all I gotta do, I just pop that lime green out of there, substitute the piece, and then we're done. Perfect. Okay, and then my helper piece, I'll put that back. It didn't hurt it, didn't change the orientation. And now I'm going to put the double lime green here, which is where we got the double purple, and the double lime green will go back to the other side. Okay, so that one's all done, and I'm going to go back to the other side. And of course, this is kind of a actually perfect setup, because we want to get the piece from here and put it over there. I need two pieces. I need the lime green piece, and from the same area I might as well get another piece. Say, try that one right there. Oh no, that's not going to work. Okay, I'll grab that. I didn't really look too hard to see how close we were to the target, but it's a two-sided, two of the same color, so either that one or that one, and as it turns out, we could pick either one. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm gonna tip this up. Now I gotta remember pink is on the left here. That'll help me. And good, that didn't hurt anything. So now I have my red. Oh, double red's over there. Okay, no problem. We know how to deal with double red. What I will do is I just take that. Okay, I got to put the other piece back first. And I'm going to put the double red in there and bring it back to the other side. Alright, this gets a little complicated because that double red goes there. So I'm going to have to find an edge to put in there temporarily. So I can put the double edge red in, and then that orange goes over here, the pink goes, I don't know, over there, and then that goes there. So we're getting down to the very end here anyway. Let's get that double red out of the way. Okay, so normally we would substitute a hex edge there, but we can't because we actually need that. And now I have to go and find another edge to use to help. Okay, So that's going to go blue on the left. Make sure I put it back that way. That's done. And blue is still on the left. Okay, so that worked perfectly. That one is the one that I substituted in. So I'm going to substitute the double orange, which is going back to the other side in that slot. That's kind of like been a handy way to switch things back and forth. Alright. Now, in reality, you know, the first time you do this, you might end up with some edges accidentally flipped or some faces turned in the middle of it. Certainly what happened when I did it the first few times. And you know, that's all part of the game, right? Solve this a few times and it'll go very, very fast. I think we're down to about 2 or 3 pieces left. We have that one, and then there's got to be a pink somewhere right over here. Yeah, so that one goes to there, that one goes to there, and that one goes to there. Alright, so I'll pick that one. Yeah, I can actually use this one because I have 2 ways to move the pink face, and I think I need another one. So hopefully those are far enough from the action that we'll still be able to use them. So the orange, I'm going to get the orange out here. Okay. And yep, we're still good. Okay, there's the orange. Now that got me the pink face out, the double pink, and I can't move this side of it, but I can move this pink. That one's done, and now I should have my red and yellow, which is indeed right there. And I'll just, no, I didn't even look. Let's look to make sure we're oriented properly. I got yellow on the right, left, yellow on the left, and indeed it is going to be correct. So I lucked in there. I have had it happen where I've had to swap a couple pieces right at the end like that, flip them, but there you go. Okay, so it's actually pretty good. Now I put these back. I can't do this one before I do that one. Pretty common problem. I'm gotta reverse, basically put the pieces back in reverse order that you took them, and look at that. Okay, let's take a look around. I get the one hex face is clear, other hex face is clear, and all 10 faces of the Megaminx ball puzzle have the edges put in. I hope that was enough to show you all the different cases you might run into and all the different techniques that I use to put those edges in. Now the last part with the algorithm, the triangles, it may seem daunting, but it actually is, I think it's a little easier than putting in all those edges. But anyway, that's what we'll do next. We'll put in all of the corners, a short little algorithm and some setup moves, and we'll do that. But let's just take a short little break first. And when we come back, finish off the Megaminx Ball V1.0 C1 variant. Alright, we're back and ready to tackle the last part of the solve. And this is where we're going to solve these little triangles. Now these are the equivalent of corners on a Megaminx, but on the Megaminx Ball they're just triangles, so they don't have orientation. We just put them in place. Alright, so the algorithm we're going to use is a very simple algorithm to 3-cycle the triangles. And if we look at this circle here, let's just kind of square this up here. And that one. So if I were to apply this algorithm to these 2 faces, this is right, that's left, this is down, what it would do is it would cycle this piece there, that piece there, and that piece there. Well, that last one is going to solve the yellow for us, and it moves these two pieces down, which moves them further along, and that's really what we want to do. Well, the problem is we can't do any algorithms with these edges in the way, because it's not going to let us turn. So as you can imagine, we have to substitute the hex edges for Megaminx edges. Now the Megaminx edges that go in there, nothing happens to them. They don't get hurt in any way, so it's okay to pick edges that are already solved. So my strategy for picking edges to use here, because I need one here and things are really tight, is to try and pick as high a one as possible. But I still have to be able to turn this, and I have to be able to turn this. So I can't use this one, but maybe one, for example, right there, that one. Okay, so the strategy here is to cycle pieces when possible, and then we can also do what are known as setup moves, where we move other faces strategically, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so the other one we need then is on the pink side. Now I can't take that, which is kind of too bad. I guess I'll just have to take that one, and that'll be okay. So we're still using the replace edge technique so that we don't change the orientation. And okay, so there we go. I've got a Megaminx edge here, Megaminx edge here, and now I'm going to do the algorithm. I'll put it on the screen and I'll put it down in the comments, but it's a very short algorithm. It's basically the down, down, up, up algorithm. And then we're going to do a D move. So this is R, this is L, this is D. We do a D moves in between. So we're going to cycle them counterclockwise. Alright, so here we go. So it's R prime, which is counterclockwise R, L, R, L prime. Okay, so that three cycled our pieces. And now, in order to move D, I have to move the left hex edge down. Now I'm going to do a D prime. Here we go. Move this back. And now I'm going to reverse what I just did. So I'm going to start with the L. L, R prime, L prime, R. And it's really important to remember to go back and undo that D move. And so we did a D prime, so now we're going to do a D, and then we'll bring it back. And so you see our pieces did cycle, but the only one that got solved was the yellow, but that's okay, because what we want to do as much as possible is just keep on going and try and solve as many of these as we can. Now, it would be tempting to just kind of turn these two edges down and try the next face, but I tell you, it's generally a waste of time, and as you can see, we already have a piece there. So as you know, tedious as it might be at times, the best bet is just to go back, put the edges back, and then look for your next set of moves. Alright. Alright, and then that one. Okay, and you see we haven't heard any of those faces at all. Alright, so we did that. So we're coming down here, and it is possible to do this as a counterclockwise thing, so that is definitely an option. I also see this lime green here and that, but then if I did that, it probably wouldn't solve that one. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I like the idea of using the lime green, but I also like the idea of having the blue in there. So now I don't know. Okay, if I did it once, yeah, see, the purple would solve that. Oh, it's so complicated. you know what, I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do a left-hand version of the algorithm, and if I do that, it will solve this piece. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm fine with solving one piece at a time because we only have a total of 10 pieces to solve. So it's not like we really have a lot of these to do. And remember, the last one's going to solve 3 pieces. So, okay, so there's, yeah. Okay, so that face will go, and now I just need to find another one. And we might be able to do a setup move here and get some more pieces into that cycle. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to try too much at once because we've come so far. We don't want to mess things up. But if I do a left-handed version of the algorithm, then it's going to it should cycle them that way. And yeah, you know, there is an opportunity maybe, but it'll definitely put that one in, and that's what we want. Okay, so it's not really a left-handed version of the algorithm. It's just that instead of doing a D prime here, I'm just going to do a D and then a D prime. Okay, and I think that'll work quite well. All right, here we go. So this is the algorithm then. So it's R prime, L, R, L prime, and now I got to move the because I forgot to mention, because my D is on this side, I got to move this side down. Now I'm going to do a D rather than a D prime. Move that back up, and now I'll reverse it. So it's going to be L, R prime, L prime, R, and we can't forget to go and reverse what we did, which in this case will be a D prime. I think what happened here, oh, okay, oh yeah, we're going this way. Yeah, we're going this way. It's good. It's good. I think we got to do it again, though. Okay, no problem. We'll do it one more time, and I think that'll. All right, so let's go ahead and do that algorithm again, remembering that we're swapping. Instead of doing D prime, we're going to do D. Okay, so it's going to be R prime, L, R, L prime. Bring that down, and now we'll do a D. Bring that back up. And now we'll undo that. It's L, R prime, L prime, R. And we'll bring it back and we'll do our D prime. Okay, and that worked exactly the way I expected. It solved that one piece. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I think just, you know, I think being kind of conservative about this is kind of the way to go. All right. Now this purple could kind of help us here. As a matter of fact, I sort of see a setup move. You know, we could. So if I did that, now that would solve that, and it wouldn't solve the lime green, but it would solve the purple. And we still have access to that. So I actually like that. And now we'll be doing our D's down here, and we can still turn it. So I actually like this idea. So I'm going to do the algorithm again and solve that one. It's just one more to be solved. So the algorithm is going to be R prime, L, R, L prime. And we use the left, and we'll do our D prime. Just back to the normal algorithm. And then we reverse everything. L, R prime, L prime, R. Solved our purple. Got to remember to undo the setup move. So we'll do a D. And that worked out quite well. I think we got quite a bit of progress out of that little bit. Normally you have to put everything back before you can do the next one. So that's really quite nice. All right, let's take a look here. Just taking a look and seeing what I got. Because now this lime green, oh yeah, this is all going to look really, really good here. Okay. I've somehow I messed up when I turned that. It should be here. Okay, let's put everything back anyway, because this is what I prefer to do at the end of these, and take stock of what's left, because there's not a lot of solving left to go. Okay, that one goes back. Alright, so we were over here, and one of the sort of a tempting thing here would be maybe to do a setup move here. This lime green is kind of getting in the way a little bit. Yeah, so if I have two here and I turn that, it puts them in this pattern where we're going here to here to here. The only thing is that all that solves is the lime green. Yeah, not a bad deal, but I'd actually rather solve the orange as well. And I see there's an orange there. Ooh, can we do a couple of setup moves? Yeah, that's that would be very tempting to do that, but I don't know. Let's see. Okay, well this looks good. Yeah. So we don't have a whole lot left to do right now, so you know what? This is good. So that goes down. That solves that. That solves that. So we'll solve two of them. And the other nice thing is that it puts this one. Well, yeah. And I think you know what? I think we have a couple more algorithms, and that's it. So I'm going to do the algorithm here, and it'll solve two of these and leave us with an orange. And really, that's kind of the way I like to do it. Don't take too many chances right at the end. And okay. Okay, so okay, that's that one, and I just want to make sure that we can turn the D. Yeah, okay, so this is just going to be the standard algorithm that we've been doing all along. So it's going to be R prime, L, R, L prime, move the left down, do a D prime, counterclockwise, okay, and then reverse it, L, R prime, L prime, R, and then, really important, undo the D move, and voila, look at that, just that one. And oh, that's really good. Now I'm gonna go put these back because don't want to mess with anything. And you'll notice that the edges we used here, even the fully solved one, it didn't hurt them in any way. Okay, we may only have 3 pieces left, which is usually good. So we have that orange there. I have a gray, and I have a lime green. Yeah, there's 3 pieces left. Now the 3 pieces are kind of spread out a little bit. So how do we deal with this? There's a couple of ways we could deal with it. Let's see here. Okay. Double setup move. Okay, so one of the possibilities would just be to, yeah, so one possibility would just be to solve that one, which would then knock that out. would knock two of them out. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. Well, really, okay. I think I got this. So this piece here, what we really want to do is have it there. So we could turn this, right? That's a setup move. And then this piece would have to go there in order for that to work. Okay, and then I would turn that. So it's a double setup move. It's pretty tricky, but I think it's a good way to kind of finish off this puzzle. So I need to find, and I'm going to need, let's see now. We're going to be working here and here. So yeah, so there's my piece that I need. Now, when I do this sort of thing, when I'm doing setup moves, I will do the setup moves with just one piece taken out, but we got to remember to unwind it in that order. Okay, and you'll see when I do the rest of this. So the first setup move then is to move this lime green piece up onto the same strip. Okay, now I'm going to move this up, and now I'm going to, now this pink is in the right place. Okay, it's just a piece off of there, so don't think we moved something out of place. These two pieces then have to go up. Okay, and in fact, if we want to do the whole, well, no, I'll just do it that way in our the recycle. We'll just do the switch the D and the D prime. So now that's good. We're good there. Now that face is free. So now I'm going to go get a piece to apply to here, and we should be good. Got to remember at the end that we undo the brown face first, then go back and undo all those setup moves. Okay, it seems complicated, but it's not too bad. If you do have trouble remembering it, you can always write them down. So our 3 cycle is that. Okay, we're looking for the orange to be here to match this. Okay, the gray to go up there, and the lime green to match that. Okay, we might have to do this twice. I'm not 100% sure which way this is going to. I think it goes that way when I do the D move. Anyway, we'll see. And then of course we're controlling the D on this side. Alright, let's try it. So it's going to be R prime, L, R, L prime. Okay, we'll go back, and now we're going to do a D move. And we'll go up here, and now we'll undo it. So L, R prime, L prime, R. Okay, and we got to go back, and we'll do a D prime. Now that one wasn't enough. I think it goes in the opposite direction, so let's go back and do that one more time here. R prime, L, R, L prime, go back, and we want to do a D, go back and undo it, L, R prime, L prime, R, we'll go back and we'll undo it as a D prime. Very good, look at that, that looks perfect. We got one more thing to do. Got to undo all those setup moves, starting with the brown. Okay. Okay, this looks bad, but you see. Okay. So now on this other side, let's remember what we did here. So to unwind this, I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to undo that setup move. And then, whoa. Oh, sorry, we did a setup move up here. I knew something was, it just looked wrong. So we undo the first setup move, sorry about that. And then we'll go down here, and then we'll undo that setup move. Okay, I thought we were already down. And we got one more thing to do, which is to put the edge that we borrowed back. Okay. And so that's good, and let's take a look at the Megaminx Ball V1.0, the C1 variant, and it's all solved. Okay, so I hope that was helpful to you. I hope that you're able to follow those algorithms. I'll put the algorithm in the description, and you'll see how it works. Anyway, that's it. This is a very fun puzzle, and I hope you agree that the bandaging really makes this puzzle something special and interesting. So as always, I appreciate your comments, your questions, your suggestions. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know what puzzles you want to see a tutorial on. And yeah, so I guess that's it for this tutorial. Until next time, thanks for watching.